Hey guys! So about a week ago, the much anticipated Android Nougat was finally released to the masses. Now for everyone like me who's been rocking Android N since its early buggy stages to its final developers preview, this brought nothing new. But for all the guys and gals who had the patience to wait until it was finally released, I thought I'd give you guys a roundup of the difference between Android Nougat and Android Marshmallow. Let's get into it. First, let's start by just looking at these two devices. On one hand, I have my Nexus 4 rocking Marshmallow. On the other hand, I have my Nexus 6P rocking Android Nougat. Now by just swiping down to get to the quick settings, you can already tell there's a difference. Have a look at the swipe down action on Marshmallow and then look at it on Nougat. On Nougat, there's some animation going on. Also, you get a row of quick toggles that is not there in the previous version of Android. This is a welcomed addition as it makes accessing certain functions easier and that much more faster. These toggles, much like the icons in the quick settings window, are all customizable, so you can arrange everything in the order that you see fit. So if you use the flashlight a lot, you can put it as the first toggle in your quick settings tray. Night mode is another nifty addition to Nougat. This is where you can, with a click of a button, lower the brightness and eliminate the bright white and blue hue from your display. So now it's less harsh on your eyes and you're able to stay up to the wee hours of the morning stalking your ex on Instagram. Notifications has also gotten a huge overall redesign, from just the way it looks to its core functions. Firstly, in Android Nougat, messages are presented differently. The notification shade goes all the way across the screen and there are no more gaps in between notifications. Also, messages are now bundled in groups according to the apps. So for example, if you have multiple WhatsApp messages, you don't see every single notification one under the other like you did before, but now they're all bundled into one notification. And if you want to see them individually, then you can either swipe down or click the little down arrow. Another great feature that I've been using since its implementation is the new quick reply from the notification shade. We've seen this before for those of us who use Hangouts, where you're able to reply to a message straight from the notification shade. So no longer will you have to pause your favorite video on YouTube to reply to your mom. Just reply to the message and continue your video uninterrupted. Now this doesn't only work on replying to messaging apps, but also other actions as well. For example, with the Twitter app, you're able to like, reply, and retweet a tweet straight from your notification shade. Now, this is something that I find very handy and really awesome. You can also change your app settings straight from the notification shade. You can silence all notifications for a particular app or block all notifications. Now this is really cool and useful. For example, if you get a ton of notifications from a particular app and you hate hearing that pinging sound or seeing a flood of notifications at the top of your phone, then this will easily solve this problem. The settings menu has also been revamped with the new OS update. It now shows us a summary of what's going on with the phone in each subsection without even having to go into that particular section. First off, it gives suggestions on what you should do to better your experience with the phone, like set up a fingerprint or add a Google account. It also lets you know if your data is off or if you're in no disturb mode. Scrolling down, it tells you how many apps you have installed, what Wi-Fi you're connected to, what percent your sound volume is at, and many other useful information just at a glance. Another feature that was implemented was the ability to change the display size of your phone screen throughout the entire operating system. So not only are you able to make words bigger, but everything else. It pretty much allows you to scale the display of your phone, making it bigger or smaller. Now on my phone, I have mine scaled down to a smaller size. That way I'm able to utilize my screen real estate, getting that much more information on my screen than I would normally have with the default mode. With the new Android Nougat, you have a cool little feature that I use countlessly throughout the day, and that is double tapping my recents button so that I can switch between my last two apps. On Marshmallow, tapping the recent button just opens up the recent app list, but on Nougat, it takes you back to your previously used app. One of the biggest additions to Android Nougat is the multi-window feature. This is something I use pretty often when I need to do some multitasking. Most times I'm watching YouTube videos while doing other stuff, so having this feature built in is extremely handy. Another new feature in Android Nougat is a clear all button in the recent apps section. Before, you would have to manually swipe out each app to close it from the phone's memory. But now all you have to do is just tap on the clear all button and watch them vanish. Emojis are another big deal with Android Nougat. There's been a ton of new emojis added to the new OS, as well as they have now been revamped. The emojis have now taken on a more human look, as well as you're now able to change the skin color of your human emoji. So they're now more realistic, and that's always a good thing. Now this is just a few of the features that I found in Android Nougat. There's tons more cool stuff that were introduced, like data saver mode, seamless updates, the revamped file manager, mobile DOS, as well as features for developers such as the Vulkan and Daydream API. I gotta say, I'm loving all these new features in Android Nougat, and I can safely say that the future of Android looks really bright. I can only imagine what goodness awaits us as developers begin to utilize these new Android Nougat features. Now let's just sit back and wait for the other operating system to catch up. So that's been it for me for this video. If you guys like what you've seen and want to see more, or if you have any suggestions for me, then be sure to hit me up in the comments below. As always, my name is Dakoin, and I'll catch you in the next one. Zine.